Today's Foodie Friday is a special day, guys, because I'm going to make the infamous Sambal recipe that I use in lots of different recipes and Wok Wednesdays, but we've never ever shown you. So this one is exclusively for you guys, and we're going to start with this huge onion. You can use shallots or, Thai shallots or normal shallots, onions, anything like that. Sambal is one of those things in Malaysia, Indonesia that you pretty much have with everything, but also there's so many different recipes for it. This one is what I tend to cook quite a lot at home, and it's a slow sort of fried chili paste, essentially, with a fair amount of oil, but the oil's there just to sort of keep it going more than anything. So you want to finely dice your onion.
We should have taken all that stuff off the table.
I feel like I'm on a train. The joys of coming back to the school. It's the world's largest onion as well, so it just keeps shaking. Nice dices of onion. Next up, I've got some dried red chilies, and these ones are soaked. They start dry. You soak them for about half an hour or so. And you can finely chop. Everything needs to be finely chopped. It's really simple. But the whole point of your sambal is, to give you that spicy, sweet, savoury, salty kick. I quite like a sambal with lots of different textures and flavours. So I've got some fresh chilies that I'm going to add to these dry red chilies as well. I mean, you can use chili flakes, any type of chili. You can have a mixture of red and green chilies. Sometimes sambals are just made with, your onions, chili, your red and green chili, a bit of salt and pepper, maybe a splash of light soy sauce. This one's a little bit more complex than that. Got a whole load of red chilies that we had in the fridge. So we want to use those up. And I have just run out of this at home. And it's in my house, it's one of those things that doesn't last for long at all. And people fight over the last teaspoon. And keeping all the seeds in, you want this nice and spicy. We've also got some bird eye chilies. If you want that extra level of spice, then 3 or 4 of those will give you a real kick. Again, you don't have to put all this chili in. It's up to you guys. But in my mind, if you're making a chili sauce, make a real chili sauce. Next up, a whole load of garlic. So you want a good sort of 5 or 6 normal cloves of garlic. But everything, as you know in the school, is giant. So that'll do. Huge cloves of garlic here. And roughly chopped. I imagine one of the sambal recipe, any sambal recipe from a family in, Malaysia or Indonesia, that the grandma will always have the best sambal. I aspire to be a good Malaysian grandma one day. I don't know why I said that. Loads of garlic. I'm going to add that to the onion. And then just a couple more ingredients to chop up. If you have it, You don't have to. This is completely optional, but I've got some lemongrass here. Give it a good beating. I don't want it too fragrant, so sort of 1/2 to 1 stick of lemongrass should be enough. And that can go in along with the onion and garlic. It's quite hard, so lemongrass will enjoy that slow cook. And then I've got some lime leaves here, about 10 lime leaves, that you can just take the stalks off and then finely chop those as well. And once you've chopped all that, then you can start cooking it. So it's a little bit of a labour of love, this. You know, you do need to take your time to chop everything up. You could blitz it all in the food processor, but you know, you guys, I mean, I like my cleaver, so I'd rather be in control. These are frozen lime leaves. When they defrost, they come out really nice and fresh. I don't really ever use dried lime leaves because they don't find they really have much flavour at all. Pop those in. It's a bit softer than the lemongrass, so they're going to go in with the chili slightly later on. Right, you can slow cook this sambal. So you can slow cook this in a wok or a saucepan, whatever you want really. But what you do need is a good amount of oil, especially for this amount of onion and garlic. So on a low heat, you get your onion, garlic, lemongrass in. Everything does need to be well covered in oil, so I feel like I need a bit more. That onion was really big. I actually ended up just using half that onion in the end. Cook your onions until they're softened and browned. So it's slow cook, guys. You got time to make a cup of tea. So long as you're stirring it around and making sure it sort of browns evenly, that's what's most important. So my onion's starting to brown nicely. All that amazing chili goes in now. Got my lime leaf in there as well. Just gonna pop the heat up slightly now. Looks delicious. And just love the colour. Again, especially if you're cooking this in a wok, constant movement is quite important. Got some palm sugar here, a little bit on the tough side, so I'm just going to bash that down a little. That's going to sweeten this up. No more than sort of 2 teaspoons of palm sugar. You don't want the liquid to be too much. It's just there to sort of give you that sweet, sour, salty flavour. So that's tamarind concentrate there. Let that palm sugar and tamarind mix in. Whoa, I don't know why I did that. I have no idea why I just smelled so many chilies. But yes, it smells lovely. I've cleared my sinuses. I've got some ketchup mayonnaise here. That treacly texture is going to really deepen the colour of this and work with the tamarind. Oh yeah, I feel like I've just had 10 menthol lozenges. Some salt. Oh, looking like a real sambal now. Still on a low heat here, but that's sort of built up heat over time. And it's starting to caramelise really nicely now with that palm sugar. So after choking myself and everyone up, that is ready. And look at the colour of that. So you can go low and slow, like I've done there. You could make a quick sambal, similar sort of ingredients that would just have a fresher feel to it. But this has that deep, whoa, homemade sambal. Enjoy it.